order mentioned Gilmer, the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency.
Yeah.
And here you have these two conflicting paragraphs. One saying you thought Mr. Cora was from Gilmer, the other one saying that you thought Mr. Cora was invited at the instance of the Ministry of Justice.
Now, maybe there is
which is which?
No, Ministry of Justice, I thought they were partnering, or they were there. They were there at the, as the applicant. At the same time, if Gilmer, I would have assumed that if Mr. Cora was coming from Gilmer, he would have been on the side of coming at the instance of Ministry of Justice to assist them as per the order at the time. I'm not saying that.
No, Gilmer was supposed to assist the sheriff, not
I'm saying,
the Attorney General.
Yes, I know from the order now. That is what is clear to me now. But at the time, I thought maybe because Mr. Cora was there close to Mr. Jallo on the ground. So I did not verify, but I assume at the same time, he was either from, he came from Gilmer or working together with Mr. Aliu Jallo at the instance of the applicant.
All right. So you mentioned earlier, let's just clear this and move forward. You also mentioned earlier that in Farato you relied on the bailiffs for the figures. Was that the same thing you did in Banjul as well?
Yes.
All right. How soon after the sale did you prepare the report?
I have to go back to my report itself again. This report was dated the 26th of March 2018.
So the sales took place in January. And you did not write the reports until about 2 months later.
Yes.
Is that the procedure the Office of the Sheriff follows? Prepare reports of sale 2 months after the sale has been conducted?
Not in all cases, but this because we are reporting to the Ministry of Justice on behalf of the Commission. So when the then Solicitor General requested for me to present a report to him, for me to also forward this to the Commission, that is the time I prepared this report.
So you waited for Minister of Justice to ask for a report?
I have compiled everything, but I did not do the final report as this one before, prior to that.
Why did you report to the Ministry of Justice? After a sale is conducted by the Office of the Sheriff, a report is supposed to be prepared and kept by the Sheriff, isn't it?
Yes.
So why was this report sent to the Ministry?
The then Solicitor General requested me to send him the report of this for him to forward it to the Commission.
When did the Solicitor General make this request?
I think it's few days before this particular date, 2 days or a day or before, prior to this date.
Is that normal that a party to a suit would wait a few months after the suit, after the sales has been conducted to request for the Sheriff to prepare a report?
No, not in return and reports are different.
I'm talking about a report.
Yeah.
You said you prepared a report and sent to the Solicitor General when you did not even prepare a report at all, so you had bits and bobs somewhere in your office. So when the Solicitor General requested for a report, you prepared a report and sent to him. Why was this something that the office of the sheriff needed to do?
This is unusual because I can't remember how many times I have to do a report. Not in all seals that I have to do a report. Okay. I rely on the return of these bailiffs and place them in the file. I personally, I can't remember I have even authored a report except in this case.
All right, because ordinarily the sheriff is not the one that's supposed to prepare a report of sale, isn't it?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Normally, after a sale is conducted, a report has to be prepared.
A return by the...
A report, not a return. A return or a report.
Yes.
Okay, let's say a return has to be prepared,
yes,
but not by the sheriff.
Not by the sheriff.
Who should ordinarily prepare the return?
In this case, the bailiffs on the ground.
Or the bailiffs are the ones that are supposed to.
Yes.
So,
but for the fact that I was also present, maybe that's why none of them
did not involve the bailiffs.
Yeah.
But also, we can say that you only relied, there was no return, basically.
No.
There was no return, you only issued handwritten notes, which you did not even keep a copy of in the first 3 days of the sale. So we can see here that eventually the report that was prepared and submitted to the Solicitor General, who then forwarded to the Commission of Inquiry, is actually not accurate.
I wouldn't say it is not accurate.
How are you certain that the report was accurate? The final figures, because here your report says a total number of cattle sold. Let me just read it out for the record. The total number of cattle sold in Kanilai was 625, in Farato 67, and in Banjolinding 32. You were not present in Banjolinding. You were not present in Farato. Yes. You were not present on the first day of sales at Kanilai. Yes. So how certain are you that the report that was this report that you sent to the Solicitor General is actually accurate? You don't have the means to verify it.
Yes, I know.
Because there is no record to verify it.
Yes.
So it's not accurate.
If you say it is not accurate,
no, it is not accurate, isn't it?
Okay, I accept.
Okay. The Commission had prepared an order that preceded the order of 3rd January 2018. And this order by the Commission is one of the instruments that give rise to this whole transaction. Have you ever seen a copy of that order?
I have never.
Didn't the Commission forward a copy of that order to the livestock?
No, I rely basically on, like I said, the function of the sheriff is to enforce orders of court. So in this case, I am not aware that the Commission had issued any order, or it was never presented to me as sheriff.
After the sales, and even before the request from the Solicitor General came to you, was the report prepared and submitted perhaps to the Chief Justice, or maybe even to the court that delivered the order?
No, we don't ordinarily report back to the court.
Okay, but you know, you've been saying this is a unusual circumstance.
Yes.
The unusualness of the whole circumstance did not involve preparing a report for the Chief Justice or even for the High Court.
I can't remember whether I presented a report to the Chief Justice or the then overseer of the Sheriff's Office.
Okay. The order of the court states that a bank account, interest-generating bank account,
Yes.
was to be opened and all the proceeds of sale deposited in that account.
Yes.
When was this account opened?
I can't remember, but I recall when the bailiffs called after the first day that they need to have, because at the time the sheriff does not operate an interest-bearing account in any of the commercial banks.
Okay.
So I was called to come forward. I went to the bank with a view to open an account, but they said it needs to be, I have to have a co-signatory as sheriff. So I collected a form, and the then JS, we filled the form together. It took about a day or two before we can actually open the account. And temporarily, the bank accepted to make accept the deposits into a temporary account, pending the formal listing of the main account.
So the bank account was not even opened before the sales took place?
No, it was not opened before the sales took place.
It was opened after the sales?
Yeah.
So where was the money kept? The money that the bailiffs were collecting on the ground, where was it kept?
The bailiffs on the ground, I recall, they had a kind of a safe that they kept with them.
On the ground?
On the ground.
They took a safe?
It's not a safe, it's just a kind of a suitcase.
Okay.
An iron suitcase, which had it was in the office of the sheriff, where previously I found it there. They used to keep monies there before they have a safe. So this is what they carried on the ground, and then they carry it, the monies that are payments that are deposited, paid there to the office of the sheriff a few days before the opening of the account. I agree that you should have opened an account prior to the sale.
So you're saying that the sale was conducted and millions were kept in a suitcase and left in the office of the sheriff?
I'm not sure whether it had
you're not sure whether it had millions?
Millions at the time before the opening of the account. I'm not sure.
You said the account was opened after the sale?
Yes.
Oh.
Not it's during the time of during the sales process. It was open, not before the commencement of the sale. I mean.
You mean before the ending of the sale?
Before the ending of the sale.
Okay. So maybe a few days after the sales commenced, the account was open.
Open, yeah.
By the way, how many days did the sale take?
I can't remember. In Kanilai.
How many days did it take in Kanilai?
Kanilai would have been, I think, 3 or 4 days, but it's an intermittent period.
So it was not consecutive?
No, it was not consecutive.
But how many days did you attend the sales in Kanilai?
Must have been 3 days, I believe. 3
days,
yeah.
And on the third day it was concluded?
Concluded, yes. We were made to believe that we would go back, but subsequently there was no...
What do you mean we were made to believe that we would go back?
Yes, because at the time when we were on the third day, when we finished, we were made to believe that there are still some cattle out grazing, and the army officers in charge had asked us to allow them time to find those cattle, because our sale was depending on them finding those cattle before we can go and then conduct the sale. That's why it was not consecutive days.
So there were gaps in the days the sale took place in Kanilai, because the officials on the ground there would tell you we will find cattle.
Yeah,
so when they find cattle, they tell you and you will go.
Yeah. This is because we don't have a record of how many cattle are there in the first place.
Which, if you had conducted a valuation exercise, you would
Yes,
have
we
known.
would have, yes, I agree.
That is very, that's a very serious matter, isn't it? That you relied on the army officials on the ground to tell you whether there's cattle available or not for you to go do a sale. And on the fourth day in Kanilai, when you were leaving, all the cattle had been sold. All the cattle on the ground
The
were
one that
sold.
were found.
All of them. So when you were, we can say that when the team was leaving Kanilai on the fourth day, there was no single cattle left in Kanilai, as far as you could tell.
Just as far as I can tell you.
Okay, so, but the army had told you there's more cattle, we just have to find it.
Yes.
Did you ever go back?
After
the conclusion of sale on that day, did you ever go back to Kanilai to see whether the army had found other cattle?
On my own, no, I didn't.
Did you send your team?
No.
Did you report this to the court?
No, I did not.
Did you report this to the Chief Justice?
No.
You also did not inform the applicant?
Who? The applicant?
That we were told by the soldiers on the ground that there are cattle that went for grazing, and if they are found, we will be called and to come and conduct sale again.
The applicant represented at the time by Mr. Jallo.
Okay.
Yeah, he
So
was
Mr.
aware.
Jallo
He is aware. In fact, he coordinates this with the army. I have no contact with the officials on the ground.
So for you, when you go and you don't speak to these officials, you just stand by the side and watch the actions, the sale being conducted by the bailiff.
I was present
Mr.
on
Cora and
I was present on one or two occasions when they were talking.
Okay, to the officials.
Yeah, to the
okay,
officials.
what was the conversation
The
about?
conversation was that we still need time to go and look around because it's a big yard.
Because it is?
A big yard.
Okay.
They require normally a vehicle to go around the yard to look for the cattle.
All right. Let's take a look at paragraph 11 of your statement. It says the order of Justice Jao didn't contain the number of cattle to be sold, but 725 in total were sold, most of which were calves.
Yes.
How did you verify that most of the cattle there were calves?
The ones that I saw in particular in Kanilai, that's why that necessitated the group sale, because you cannot sell a cow and then left out a calf.
Can you explain this group sale issue to the committee? How did you arrive at that, and what do you determine as a group sale, and how many of these cows and calves were in a group?
You mean as to number?
Yes.
I can't remember because it's almost 8 years ago now, but I remember in some instances they were up to 6 or 5 calves in addition to maybe 1 bull, 3 bull, or 4 cows together. And a particular breeder would.
So you did not attach a calf to a mother,
Yes.
but you were attaching cows, 4 or 5 cows to 1 cow, 4 or 5 cows to 1 bull.
Yes. Not one bull. We were trying to identify which one group belong to each particular group, and then we'll identify and sell it in that order.
did you verify whether these calves you're talking about were suckling or not?
I did not verify that. I have little experience in
exactly.
Yes, I did.
And the livestock marketing agency was supposed to save you from all of this.
Exactly, yeah.
But you did not reach out to.
Yes, I agree. That is fine.
I am going to refer you to a document. Honorable Chair, I am referring the witness to MOJ 8FE. Let me verify. It's supposed to be an attachment of MOJ 8FE. Sorry, it's MOJ 8F3. F3. The first page is a memo. That's not the document I'm referring the witness to. Actually, sorry, it's 8F4. 8F4, second, it starts from the second page. Second page of 8F4. It's a long document, and can the Secretariat please provide the witness with a copy of this document?
Council?
Yes, Honorable Chair. Has the committee been able to find this document?
Yes, 84, yes, we are able to.
Okay, all right. Honorable Chair, it's quite a long document, so can we give the witness at least 2 minutes to be able to turn and look at all the other pages before? Okay. Um,
Yes.
Justice Tabally, are you done with the report? You've taken a look.
Yes, I have.
Okay. Still on paragraph 7, you stated that most of the cattle were cows. The report you're looking at is an inventory of the cattle in Kanilai and the cattle in Farato.
Yes.
And I will not burden you to count the number of cows, bulls, and cows in that report. But I'll let you know that the number of cows were 175, the number of bulls were 153, and the number of cows are 289. So therefore, there is no way you found more cows than cows and bulls in Kanilai or in the total sales in all these farms. There is no way that there were more cows than cows, because this report says otherwise. There's a report here, but you don't have a report.
I don't have it.
So you cannot even be 100% certain that there were more cows than cows. Are you?
It's just my own estimation at the time. I'm not quite, I cannot be sure. Like what I have seen now, if I was privy to this, I would have been able to verify at the time.
So by estimation, we can say you are not certain. You were not certain.
I was not certain.
Okay. Let's move on to paragraph 12. Yes, paragraph 12 of the witness's statement. I'll just read out the first sentence of that paragraph, and it states, in my presence, I noticed that some cattle were not healthy and a few died in my presence. Let's talk about, before we talk about the ones that died in your presence, let's talk about the ones that were not healthy. You just stated that you don't have the expertise or the capacity to be able to tell much about a cow. For example, when I asked you about the suckling, you said you could not tell because you don't have the capacity. So how do you now have the capacity to determine whether a cow is healthy or not?
What I mean here is they were not properly fed and they were very weak. I did not, I used the word healthy, but I should have said they were not properly fed. I could not say because, like you said, I am not an expert to know whether they were healthy or not, but they were not properly fed. That's what I meant to say.
So by, explain what you mean they were not properly fed.
They were weak, very weak. They said they lack proper care or they did not have any feeding at the time.
They were weak. Were they not able to stand at all?
Like I said, the one that I saw, we died in my presence.
How many died? You said a few died in my presence. How many died?
I recall vividly three in my presence.
So whilst the sale was being conducted,
yes,
3 cows just died?
One died, not the same day.
Okay, not so in different days a cow would die?
Yeah.
Just like that?
My attention was called to a cow has fallen out there.
Okay.
Yeah, and we went there, we found it, and it has died.
And how were you able to verify that, because you said the cows are weak? Maybe the cow was too weak to stand and collapse, so how were you able to verify that the cow was dead? And what happened to the carcass?
We did not take any record of the carcass. We just focused on the one that we are able to sell. That's
so you left the carcass lying?
Yes.
But you did not invite a vet or anyone to just come and look at any professional to take a look at the cows that died?
No, we did not. I did not.
Okay. As we're talking about paragraph 12, we already talked about the selling in herds.
Yeah.
But I just have one question with regards to this. Who determined that the cows should be sold in herds? Was it you, the sheriff? Was it the bailiffs? Who determined that?
No,
To use that style?
like I said, none of us had expertise in cattle. It was this Mr. Cora together along with Mr. Jallo who would advise us it's better to sell this in groups or herds.
Okay, and you accepted this?
Yes.
There's a part in paragraph 12. Let me just read the remainder of the paragraph. It says some of the cattle were sold in herds and it was an open tender, and we were assisted by an army officer who was in charge of the herds. And the sale was done in intervals as the officer will require time to gather the cattle. We consider this to be a duty of the state.
Yeah.
Please clarify why you are saying that this is a duty of the state, when in fact the whole entire process of selling these livestock was actually a duty of the office of the sheriff.
Yes.
And should have been assisted by the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency when it came to valuation. Yes. So why is the state being mentioned here and saying that it was their duty?
The reason why I said that is because we are, although it's part of the mandate of the sheriff to conduct a sale of this nature, but at the same time we had at the back of our mind we are trying to conduct
Sorry, it was not only was it a mandate of the sheriff, the court had ordered it.
Yes.
Taking away the duty and responsibility from the state and handed it over to the sheriff. So
right.
please explain.
I mean it is, we are carrying out this in the interest of the state as well, because the state is the applicant here. That's what I want to
So therefore it was the state that was supposed to gather the animals?
No.
Because in a sense that is what you're saying here in paragraph 12.
It might imply that it's what but I don't mean to say that. I'm only saying that we are carrying out these functions as a sheriff, or at the same time at the behest of the state. That's what I meant.
So what do you mean exactly? Yes, the state is the one that made an application to the High Court, but that everything with regards to the sale was taken and handed over to the sheriff by the High Court. Yeah. So therefore, the state had no duty here. They were not. The court did not place any responsibility or duties on the state for them to carry out.
No. Maybe the use of the word, but what I mean is we consider this a national duty on all of us, not only as a sheriff but also as citizens. We are carrying out this duty on behalf of the state, so we should do it to the best of our ability.
Let's look at paragraph 13. We had earlier talked about values. Today we also talked about the valuation. Sorry, we've spoken about the valuation today, earlier, and also yesterday.
Yes.
Let's talk about the SIS and the involvement in this sale.
Yes.
Why was the SIS involved in the sale process when the court did not state that the SIS should be part of the sale?
Certainly, the sheriff did not invite the SIS officers. At the time, I did not verify, but I thought maybe that they were part of the task force at the instance of the state to witness and confirm what is being taking place on the ground.
By task force, which task force are you referring to?
Task force that was set up at the Ministry of Justice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were other members of the task force present at the sale?
I don't know all the task force members.
All right. Okay. So here in your statement in paragraph 13, you stated the SIS officer was involved in assisting in trying to control and assist the bailiff in carrying the cash deposit. You're saying you did not verify whether this individuals, even from the SIS, well, they were helping the office of the sheriff
Not to handle the cash.
handle cash. This is what you're saying in your statement. In trying to control and assist the bailiff in carrying the cash deposit.
Not necessarily to physically carry the cash, but you're trying, just to help the bailiff control, because the place was crowded, and it was this thing. Like I said yesterday, there were so many people around, so we were trying to control the crowd to assist the bailiff to able to effectively receive these payments without hindrance. That's what I want to say there.
Does the office of the sheriff require the presence of an intelligence officer from the SIS at the point of sale whenever it's conducting sale?
No, never.
Okay, so why was you stated that you don't know at whose instance?
Yes.
The SIS was there.
Yes.
Sorry, you stated that you actually thought the SIS was there because they are part of the task force.
Yes.
Okay, but then why would you allow them to even sort of help the bailiff in any way with the cash?
Like I said, this is an unusual sale that the sheriff has never conducted of this magnitude.
So an unusual sale happened, so therefore unusual actions were taken.
Yeah.
All right. Let's now go to paragraph 14 of your statement. Also, maybe you can take a look at the bank or the statement of account that you've submitted to this committee.
Yes.
Honorable Chair, it is marked SBT 6. Yes, Honorable Chair. It's a statement of account from Trust on the letterhead of the Trust Bank Limited.
Although it's not very clear, but we'll be able to follow.
Yes.
Yes, I have it.
You stated in paragraph 14 that the normal practice for the office of the sheriff was for the buyer, or let's say the highest bidder, to make payments to an account at Central Bank,
Yes.
or they'll be escorted to effect payment into the said account.
Yes.
But of course, this was different because the court had specifically ordered that the proceeds of sale should be deposited into the account, into an interest generating account,
Yes.
which was not even opened before the sale took place. Let's take a look at the bank statement. Let's take a look at the first deposit. The first deposit was made on the 12th day of January 2018. It's a cash deposit by CD Fati, and the amount deposited was $1,024,000.
Yes.
Cash deposit. Who's Mr. CD Fati?
He was the deputy sheriff.
He was a deputy sheriff at the time.
Yes. He's still the deputy sheriff.
He's still the deputy sheriff.
Administration, yeah.
Administration.
Yes.
Didn't you say that the money was collected at the point of sale by the bailiffs? So why was the deputy sheriff making deposits into this account?
He was among the bailiffs who were equally.
Is the deputy sheriff a bailiff?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not a bailiff.
Okay.
But he was also on the ground and receiving payments as well.
So we can say it was not
Only
just the bailiffs that were
yeah.
receiving payments.
Yes.
There were other people
Other
receiving
people, yeah.
payments.
Yes.
And this included the deputy sheriff.
Deputy sheriff, yeah.
All right. The second deposit was made on the 13th of January 2018 by Modu Musa Sise, and it's a cash deposit of $3.1 million.
Yes.
From the dates, before we move forward, from the dates of this statement, you still can't remember when the first day of sale was, the date of the first day of sale?
I think it's contained in my report. The sale commenced on the 9th as per this report.
On the 9th.
Yeah.
So the sale commenced on the 9th, and then it took 3 days before the office of the sheriff deposited money.
Yes.
All right.
Because we have to follow.
The third deposit was in this account was done by Mr. Sidi Fati again.
Yes.
And this was a sum of $2,565,000, 18th of January.
Yes.
Sorry, the first few days of sale, was it consecutive? Like so you're saying first day of sale was the 9th. Second day of sale, can we say it was the 10th?
Yes.
Okay. Third day of sale?
I can't be sure exactly because the third day of sale, I think, was in Kanilai.
Okay.
Yes.
But you were not there?
I was not.
You were there on the fourth day?
Fourth day, yeah.
On the fourth day of sale, and when was the fourth day of sale? Can you remember the date?
I can't remember the
Okay.
date.
All right. So we'll say that the first day of sale was on the 9th.
Yes.
This was Tuesday, by the way.
Okay.
Okay?
I know.
Tuesday, 9th January 2018, a working day. The money was not deposited into this account until 3 days later, Friday. The second day, the second time a deposit was made into this account was the 13th. So, do you remember when the last day of sale was?
'31st of January.
31st of January.
Yes.
Was the last day of sale.
Yes.
Let's continue. The last day of sale, 31st January, a cash deposit of $297,000 was done on the 31st of January by Modu Musa Sisi.
Yes.
So the sales ended on Wednesday.
I don't know what date.
Yes, I'm telling you
Okay.
that the 31st of January in 2018 was on a Wednesday.
Okay.
On 2nd February 2018, an amount of 33,000 was deposited into the account by check. This deposit was done by Modu Musa MCC. Again, on the 2nd as well, another check of $45,000 by Modu Musa CC.
Yes.
On the 5th of February 2018, sorry, not the 5th. So Modu Musa deposited money into the account twice on the 2nd of February 2018.
Yes.
By check, EcoBank check.
Mm-hmm.
On the 5th of March, more than a month after the sales has been completed, Modu Musa deposited cash amount of 198,000. Were you aware or were you ever informed about these transactions? You can take a look at the statement.
Yes, I've seen it on the 5th of March.
Yes, on the 5th of March, Modu Musa deposited 198,000. This is more than a month after the sales were completed.
Yes.
Do you know why this sum was deposited into the account at that point?
I can't remember vividly, but I know in one or two instances where there were issues with the checks that was issued to us as payment. So we had to locate the buyers to return the check to them and then for them to effect payment subsequently. So I don't know whether this is one of the instances where it involves one or two people, I think, or buyers.
Okay, so you're telling the committee that even payments being made on the ground were not even verified, especially for checks. You handed over the livestock without being certain that those checks you were receiving on the sale ground will not bounce back.
We rely on I remember one of the buyers, I spoke to him. I knew him previously. So because there was, I resisted at first when he first came on the first day that he offered to pay by check. So he came this second day. He paid, there was a balance that he was supposed to pay. So the person that he sent in to collect the cows, the amount that he gave, I think there was a shortfall. So he made up with a check. What is unusual for the sheriff to accept check payment from anybody? We still, notwithstanding, even if the buyer is unable to pay, we still have the right to go after him, to pursue him to collect the, even in the ordinary sheriff sale.
But isn't that just adding so much stress to the work, accepting a check?
Yes,
Wasn't it just best to direct the buyer to the bank, let them go pay, the bank gives them the deposit slip, and then you come and give them?
Yeah, that is the ideal system.
All right.
Yeah.
So after every deposit was made by CD and Modu Musa, did they submit a copy of the, or even not a copy, but the slip that the bank would issue to an individual or a customer and they make a deposit? Then they submit those slips to you?
I believe they have been issued with deposit slips, but I can't be sure about the whereabouts of those things because we requested statement from the bank thereafter.
So you did not make it a requirement after they deposited millions into an account to submit these slips after every transaction that they do? You did not make that a requirement for them?
No.
Okay. The checks that the bidders issued to the office of the sheriff, did the office of the sheriff at least photocopy those checks and keep a record of it in the file?
No, I cannot be sure that we have done that.
Why not?
Because that was not. I can't remember where we need to do that. We are only concerned with the actual payment.
Is the office of the sheriff not concerned with transparency, accountability, and just keeping records for the memory of the office for subsequent individuals that will be occupying that office? Was that not something that interested you, to be transparent and accountable and just keep records?
Yes, when I assumed office, regrettably this office has been in chaos and there was lots of issues there. I regret to say this.
Okay.
Monies have gone missing there. So
can we say in this instance money got missing?
No.
Because you kept money in a suitcase, millions in a suitcase,
yeah.
3 days before you deposited that. Before you deposited it.
No, not in this instant. Not in.
You are
this
certain?
No, yeah.
Are you
certain.
sure?
The monies that were there definitely.
You were not there in the first 3 days of sale,
yeah.
so do you really want to say you were certain?
I cannot be certain, but I want to believe what my.
You're confident.
Yeah, what my belief. I'm not saying I'm confident, but I want to believe what is presented to me as accurate.
So therefore, we can conclude that the office of the sheriff does not do very well when it comes to keeping records and files.
Unfortunately, not at the time.
Did you remedy this situation by the time you were leaving the office? Or did you also just manage with the chaos?
We try our best to remedy the situation.
But you did not remedy the situation.
One of these is our main concern was handling of cash, which we try to shift to the accounts department, and even payments due to people. Ordinarily, before I assume office, beneficiaries were receiving cash from the sheriff's accounts clerk. But during my time, we tried to remedy all that, and then to the point that you can only be issued checks or bank transfers.
Very well. Is that so? We can say that the reason so many important records are missing from this file is that the office of the sheriff did not keep good records.
Some of the practicing counsels can attest to that. They have that experience.
All right. Let's move on so that we would not spend the entire day here today again. Let's talk about the bank account.
Yes.
The closing balance of the account is $8,302,970.
Yes.
The court, in its order, you can take a look, of 3rd January 2018, it states that the office of the sheriff should deposit proceeds of sale in an interest-bearing account pending the conclusion of the commission.
Yes.
But unfortunately, the office of the sheriff again did not adhere to that part of the court's order completely. Yes, it opened an account, but they did not keep the account. They did not keep the proceeds of sale in the account until the conclusion of the commission, isn't it?
Of course, I remember
Take a look at the order. Take a look at the order.
Yes.
Sorry, paragraph 3, just to direct you, I'll read it out. The Honorable Sheriff of the Gambia is ordered to conduct sale and all proceeds of the sale to be kept by the Honorable Sheriff in an interest-bearing account pending conclusion of the Commission of Inquiry or further orders of the court.
Yes.
Were the proceeds of sale kept in this bank account or trust bank until the conclusion of the Commission's work?
The proceeds were kept there until I exited the office of the sheriff.
When did you exit the office of the sheriff?
2019.
2019.
Yes.
The amount, the total sum was in this account.
It was in this account.
Who else was a signatory to this account?
The then JS Judicial Secretary, now Justice Landin Sane.
Okay. So after you left, look at paragraph, the second to last paragraph of your statement. Paragraph 19. After my appointment as a judge, I was approached by Mr. Binga for the details of the account which I provided to him.
Yes.
Why did you provide the details of this account to Mr. Binga?
I recall when I was master up to 2022, I have been receiving alerts on the accruing interest on the account on my text messages. And I approached even the then administrator, the judicial secretary, to protest that I should exit as a co-signatory no longer, now that I'm no longer the sheriff. So I think a letter was even written to that effect to the bank to effect changes of signatories to the account. But I don't know whether that was implemented, because up to the time I was a judge, I still received this alert. So I recall Mr. Binga called me that he said the attorney, on the instruction of the Attorney General, he wanted the details of the bank account. I merely forwarded one of the text messages from the bank, the alerts forwarded to him, which have the details. Subsequently, I had an alert that the account is zero balance. I don't know how. I was not a party to that.
Okay, you provided the bank details to a third party.
Yes.
Somebody that the court never mentioned. The court said it is the Honorable Sheriff that should control this account.
Yes.
And then one day you receive a text alert from the bank which says the account is now empty.
Yes.
The balance is $0. Yes. What did you do when you received that text message?
I think I informed even the judicial secretary and even our chief justice as well. So as chief justice even, I think he remarked that how can they withdraw without authority from us?
Okay. So you informed the chief justice and the JS verbally, or did you write?
Verbally.
Verbally. When was this?
This must have been end of 2024 or thereabout.
2024.
Yeah.
Are you certain of this date?
I cannot be sure, but I think around. I'm just assuming around.
Okay, but if you look at your phone records, you'll be able to ascertain when you received.
I don't have that phone anymore.
You don't have that phone anymore.
Yeah, and I'm not receiving any alerts.
Any alert? The account is empty.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you will not ordinarily receive alerts for an empty account.
Yes.
Okay. So you provided the details to Mr. Binga, and then eventually one day you received an alert of $0
yes.
in the account.
Yes.
And you only spoke about this to the Chief Justice and...
In one of when I had cause to meet the Chief Justice and the
Okay,
JS.
you brought it up.
Yeah, brought it up, yeah.
Okay, but immediately it happened to you, did not speak to anybody about it?
No.
Why? You were not concerned?
Of course I was concerned. No, I think when I received it, the day I was on my way from Brikama to a meeting in Banjul. So during the conversation, during the course of the meeting, I brought it up.
Okay. So you mentioned that when you became a judge, you were still receiving alerts about interest
Yes.
on the account, and since you were no longer a signatory, you spoke to the JS and eventually wrote. Who wrote this letter? Was it a letter or was it a memo?
It was a letter to the bank.
It was a letter to the bank. Who prepared this letter?
I think I was a co-signatory to the letter as well as the then co-signatory to the account. But it was prepared in the office of the Judicial Secretary, then Judicial Secretary.
So the Judicial Secretary prepared this letter and then gave you
both of us to sign.
Both signatories to sign.
Yeah, with an instruction for us to exit and be replaced by.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then who replaced the two of you?
I can't remember. I can't recall, but